In 1932, a man who decided that he's seen too many businesses and corporations bankrupt, leaving parents suffering to feed their children, being evicted from their homes only to live in shelters, under bridges, and some even in their car. Tired of seeing families' Christmases being spent on the streets, receiving nothing but waves and the dirty expressions on the faces of the people as they pass by, that he decided to create the four-way test. The four-way test is a code of ethics created by Rotarian Herbert J. Taylor, a man who, like many of us, had a desire to help others. The four-way test consists of 4 questions. The first question I consider to be one of the most significant questions of them all. Is it the truth? A lot of times in our daily lives we can apply this very question to a multiplicity of situations. For example, in 2005 at Sonita High School, a 9th grade student was enrolled. It was his first week at the school. He was being teased a lot. He didn't really understand it because he had formerly left a school where he was loved by a lot of people. He had great credentials and he even had a great mind. But these ninth grade guys were so envious of him that they teased him the whole week with untrue, unkind, and harmful words. That Friday, this young boy walked home with his head bowed and his eyes filled with tears. He made it home and went to his parents' bedroom and retrieved a gun. He took that gun and went into the living room, sat down on the couch, and contemplated suicide. In the midst of his contemplation, he asked himself 4 questions. The first question being, is it the truth? He had to stop and ask himself, is what they're saying about me really true? I have a great mind. I know I'm not the best looking, but I do know I am good looking. So is what they're saying about me really true? It's not. Then he had to stop and ask himself, is it fair to all concerned? His young and intelligent mind had to consider the possible outcome of this decision. He thought about his mother, who would have to come home from work to see her son lying on the couch dead. He thought about his brother, who was a senior in high school, who would have to come home from school to see his mother on the floor crying and his brother on the couch dead. He thought about his father, who was on a very important business meeting in Chicago, who would have to receive a phone call just to be informed that his son had taken his own life. So is it fair to all concerned? No, it's not. Then he had to ask himself, will it build goodwill and better friendships? The very thing this young man was lacking was friendships. So how could taking his life build friendships? A great poet once said, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. The fourth question he had to stop and ask himself is it beneficial to all concerned? He stopped and thought about it. He said, does this decision that I'm about to make bring joy to the ones who care about me? Does it make them smile? Does it make them laugh? Does it put them to sleep at night? It doesn't. When this boy finished contemplating, he stood up from the couch, wiped the tears from his eyes, and placed that gun back in his parents' bedroom. There it is, a life saved by 4 questions. 4 questions that were meant to build businesses saved this young man's life. Can you imagine the outcome without these 4 questions? I don't want to. Because you see, 3 years ago, my cousin, who was a 6th grade student, committed suicide herself. And I thought about it. Would she be here today if these 4 questions were made visible to her? I believe she will. She would. Then I thought about the 1,347 people who committed suicide on last year. I'm not saying they all would be here, but I am saying most of them would be. Then I thought about the ones who may be suicidal right now. If these 4 questions were made visible to them, imagine how many lives can be changed. I challenge you today. Take these 4 questions, apply them to everyday situations. Watch positive outcomes come. Thank you.